Hello, this is Lori Wood, the HMIS Coordinated Entry Trainer with IHCDA. Welcome to Coordinated Entry Training in HMIS. To start off today, we are on the Client Track HMIS login screen. You'll enter your username and password. Then click Sign In. The first screen that comes up has your work group, your organization, and location. For coordinated entry, you have to change the work group to the 2020 Coordinated Entry work group. The organization, you will switch to your region number coordinated entry. So if, for instance, you are in Region 2, the organization would be Coordinated Entry Region 2. In the training database, which I am in today, it's a little bit different, but you would need to change the organization again to your region number coordinated entry. Once that's finished, click Use These Settings. And we are now in the coordinated entry work group. And you can tell that we are in the correct work group because it is displayed at the top of the screen. In coordinated entry, there are a few changes and differences from regular HMIS. In the coordinated entry work group, the reports function is still housed on the home workspace. So your HMIS reports, the prioritization list, and coordinated entry reports are all housed on the home workspace. Remember, in the regular HMIS work group, there's a separate reports workspace. Let's move to the client workspace. And we'll go through a coordinated entry intake. As always, you want to complete a Find Client search prior to creating a new record in the system. I'm going to go ahead and launch the coordinated entry intake workflow. So that I have more space for you to view, I'm going to hide the menu. Let's add a new client. And then click Next. The system will automatically search for that client. On the client information screen, please complete the required data points, which are all marked with a red asterisk. Birth date, ethnicity, race, gender, and veteran status. Scrolling down the page, You can enter the client's most recent address, then click Finish. The next portion of the intake workflow is the client consent form. Please make sure that the client either reads the consent form or you as the caseworker or intake worker reads the form to the client so they understand the consent. There are 3 available choices for the client consent. The first being, I agree that this agency and its employees and agents can enter all of my information into the HMIS and share my personal protected information with other HMIS service providers. The second option, I will provide my information to the agency, but I do not agree to allow the agency to enter any of my information into the HMIS or share my personal protected information with other HMIS service providers. And the third and final choice, I do not agree to provide any information to this agency, and I understand that I may not be able to receive certain services from this agency if my eligibility to receive these services cannot be verified. I will check number 1. Then the client signs, and they can do so using your mouse. So I'll just make an L there for the sake of time. The client's name, today's date, and then you as the case manager would also need to sign with your mouse. Scrolling down, type in your name in the case manager field. And today's date. Then click Save in the bottom right-hand corner. Now we come to the Family Members screen. This is where you can add additional family members by clicking on the box below the head of household and then entering the information required to complete those fields. For the sake of time during this training, we will enroll a single individual in coordinated entry. Click Save and Close. Now we move to the Diversion Assessment. Click on the Region drop-down to choose the appropriate region, and then the Housing Crisis Points are conversation points to help you identify if possibly there are ways to house the client through alternative measures. So problem with landlord, if it's a yes, maybe we could offer mediation, rental or utility arrears. Could we assist with that? Eviction, foreclosure, condemned property, unable to pay rent, overcrowding, violence or abuse, or other. So these are just conversation points to help you engage in that creative conversation with the client to see if there are alternate housing options available. Are you safe in your current living condition? Is there anyone else you could stay with temporarily if you were able to receive case management, transportation, and or limited financial assistance? After completing those fields, click Save in the bottom right-hand corner. For program enrollment, click on the drop-down next to Project and choose Coordinated Entry for your region. Then check the box next to the client or clients that you are enrolling in Coordinated Entry. Then click Save to move to the next assessment. The Universal Data Assessment has many fields that are pre-populated. You will need to complete the disabling condition according to the client's disclosure and the prior living situation information. Length of stay, approximate date started, number of times the client has been on the street, in emergency shelter or safe haven in the past 3 months, including today. And finally, the total number of months homeless on the street, in emergency shelter or safe haven in the past 3 years. Next is the health insurance assessment. Please indicate whether the client is currently covered by insurance. If the client discloses yes, then a type of insurance must be identified as part of the assessment. Now we come to the barriers. The client indicated earlier in the workflow they do have a disabling condition. You can click the box to the left of barriers and it will change all barriers to no. Simply go to the barrier that the client identifies with and change the barrier present field to yes and answer whether the condition is indefinite. Then click Save and Close. Income and sources and non-cash benefits. Does the client receive income from any source? Does the client receive any non-cash benefits from any source? If indicated yes, the type of income must be identified and enter the monthly amount. The same is true for non-cash benefits. If the client indicates yes, they do receive non-cash benefits, the type must be identified and enter the amount. Click Save and Close. And we come to the VI SPDAT portion. The system will ask you, which SPDAT tool would you like to complete? A VI SPDAT or a TAY VI SPDAT, which is for youth. Our client is an adult, so we will choose VI SPDAT. And it's a single adult, so we will choose Add New VI SPDAT Assessment. If we were assessing a family, we would choose Add New Family VI SPDAT Assessment. Complete the information beneath the Administration tab. Then scroll down the page. Indicate the language. And whether or not the client has consented to participate. Please ask the following questions of the client and then indicate their appropriate answer. The VI SPDAT tool will automatically score the client for you. Next is the risk assessment. And please know that the client has the ability to refuse to answer any or all of these questions. Socialization and daily functioning. Please indicate the client responses. Continue asking the questions of the client and indicate their response. As you scroll down towards the bottom of the page, you will see the pre-screen total score. This is to assist us in identifying the vulnerability of the client. The recommended housing options for each score break are indicated on the right side of your screen under Results. However, keep in mind, each region has a prioritization policy, and the score break for your region may differ from what you see on the screen. When finished, click Save. Now you can see the client has a completed VI-SPDAT in the system. Click Save and Close, and we move on to Quick Referrals. We are enrolling our client in coordinated entry, and then Save and Close. To complete the intake process, please click Finish at the end of the workflow. Now I will reopen the side menu and pin it so it remains open. And you can now see Marvel Maple's dashboard with their client ID number, basic demographic information, their enrollment information for coordinated entry, my information as the case manager because I completed the coordinated entry enrollment, and then if Marvel had any services, they would appear during this section. So we'll scroll back to the top. Now it's important to know that part of coordinated entry requires that clients complete a new assessment every 90 days. And this is to ensure that we can get in touch with clients when a housing opening becomes available, and we know how to locate them and get in contact with them. A client's circumstances can change considerably within a 90-day period. So let's say that it's been over 90 days since Marvel's last VI-SPDAT. To complete a new VI-SPDAT, go to the Assessments choice on the left-hand menu, take your cursor over to the right and down to SPDAT and VI-SPDAT, and then over to VI-SPDAT. Remember, the TAY VI-SPDAT is for use only. Click on VI-SPDAT, and then you would add new and create a new assessment to update this client's record. Going back to the client dashboard, you can enter services, referrals, additional family members, case notes, almost all of the same functions that you already use in the 2020 HMIS Workgroup. Now let's move back to the home workspace. And take a quick look at a prioritization list. You'll click on Prioritization List. It will populate another heading that says Prioritization List, and you will click on that. And the program would be your region number. And the prioritization list populates. You can see there are several columns in the list, and everywhere you see the little triangle, you can sort the column. So let's say I want to sort the column days since last VI SPDAT, because I want to take a look and see how many clients have assessments older than 90 days. So I clicked on the triangle, then clicked descending, so it starts with the highest number and descends to the lowest number. To move to a client record from the prioritization list, simply move your cursor to the blue circle to the left of the client name and click, and then select Client. This will take you to the actual client record. At this time, we are going to walk through an exit from coordinated entry. So I am searching for the client. Now I'm selecting the client. I will go to the Enrollment button in the Enrollment area of the dashboard, click, and choose Exit the Enrollment. This will then launch the Exit Enrollment. You'll need to complete the client's destination, exit reason is good, but it is not required information. Then click Save. Then just like your regular HMIS work group, you will move through the different assessments to exit the client. I'm going to cancel out of this. Now we're going to address how to move between the 2020 HMIS work group and the 2020 coordinated entry work group. For any data entry pertaining to your agency, your shelter, your regular HMIS data entry, you will need to make sure that you change the work group to the 2020 HMIS user work group under your organization's name. Once those have been changed, click Apply. And that takes you to the regular HMIS work group. On the other hand, if you're in your regular HMIS work group under your agency name and you need to complete some coordinated entry data entry, you will need to go to the upper right-hand corner again, click on your name, click on work group, choose 2020 coordinated entry, and then change the organization to coordinated entry region number, whatever your region number is. Then click Apply. And that concludes our training for coordinated entry. It's very basic, very similar to what you already do in the regular HMIS work group. The difference is mastering, toggling between the two separate work groups. I've included a handout in this training that displays the HMIS link, the HMIS Help Desk link, the DV Client Track link, and the DV Help Desk link. Also provided is the link to the Indiana Balance of State website, which has now migrated to the IHCDA website. Thank you for attending. Any questions can be submitted to the HMIS Help Desk at ihcda.in.gov. Thank you.